The South County Youth Solutions Collaborative is pleased to present its recommendations to the San Diego Workforce Partnerships Youth Council. South County Youth Solutions is a unique collaborative of public schools, community colleges, community-based agencies, government agencies, and employers dedicated to helping youth maximize their potential and realize their dreams of a successful future.
I have different thoughts right now. I'm thinking accounting, maybe, construction, something like that, I have a wide range right now.
I am going to go to community college for 2 years, and then I'm going to go to University of Maryland.
Because I want to have my own business, so I'm go to college and study about that because I wanted to get a business.
Any job, basically with children, dealing with children.
These young people are the future of our community, but if not properly motivated and guided, they'll have a future with few choices. We all know the hardships and challenges that today's youth face. So what new and creative ways can we come up with that will make their journey into the working world easier? Some practitioners and policymakers argue that quick entry into jobs is best, while others contend that providing youth with a foundation of skills before they enter a job leads to a better and a more long-lasting outcome. As we have learned from experience, there is no single model for success. Our diverse programs serve an equally diverse population of youth. Young people need to know the programs are there, a place where people care, a place to go for alternatives.
I found out about the internship program through my counselor at Chula Vista High School Learning Center while I was in the alternative education program.
I went to the Career Center and I found out about comprehensive training systems there.
Job Corps Center, I heard it from a family member.
I heard about Casa Familiar by my friends and family that used to come here to do community service or use the computer labs.
The biggest challenge is school, education. I've noticed that whenever I went in to apply for a job, they'd look straight for your education and if you graduated or if you're still in school.
I've been out of work for 1.5 years and I was job searching, and a lot of the places ask you for a lot of skills that I do not have or they are very limited. And the Career Center was an excellent start. I was there looking for work and just picking up all the flyers and all that. I ran into the bulletin that has the ad for comprehensive training systems where they do various trainings on various fields, and I thought that administrative assistant would be the one for me.
Starting in June of 2006, the collaborative met to review, discuss, and examine existing workforce and demographic data for South Bay youth. We conducted a SWOT analysis, then moved to a gap analysis that reviewed recurring themes from the youth employer and provider surveys. The area we determined to be the most lacking is job readiness training for youth and making sure that youth know how and where they can find services needed.
Not enough people know that there's help out there to get them, for them to get a job, and that's what needs to come out. Not more resources, but more information.
And encourage them to do more than what they think they can do.
Get more training, because that's what it's all about, and we all have to start somewhere.
To obtain further specific information, we held a special event on September 13th, 2006, entitled Successful Strategies, Best Practices for Youth Employment. The event was a tremendous success with over 70 attending. We had employers, youth, workforce providers, youth providers, educators, and government representatives.
It's hard to get a job if you haven't had a job. So we really encourage people, young people, to get out there and do community service in your school. Get that job at McDonald's if you have to. Work part-time. Do something. It doesn't have to be the job that you want for your career, but get some job experience, because we need to know, are you committed to being there on time every day? Do you have good attendance? Do you have a good attitude? Are you employable?
There's a lot of things that you can do in a healthcare system. It's not all direct patient care. You still make a difference because you interact with the patient.
And so what you want to do is you want to be precise and you want to get to the point when you're in an interview and answer those questions.
Attitude, appearance. You need to be eloquent. You need to be able to speak, and you need to be able to be a professional.
And coming from a youth, to all of you, just attitude, attitude, that's the main thing.
After a short presentation, employers, high school principals, youth case managers, and providers sat at breakout tables to generate recommendations on how to improve services in South County for youth.
That's why I get involved with CTS and different organizations that train, because I want to be able to say, listen, here's what we need. You need to be more prepared.
And they apply for these jobs, they go to these interviews and they tell them you don't have the skills we're looking for, but yet this is an entry-level position. So how do we go about changing that?
Well, once they start recognizing what skills they have and start verbalizing it, it actually builds their self-confidence and self-esteem.
They required us to do community service. And I think that's one major thing that helped me get oriented with the youth in our country, because I was going into a YMCA and I was a teacher.
When they do these volunteer things, activities in their community, ask for business cards of the person in charge. Later on, when you have these skills that you've acquired through school or whatever it may be, go back to those people and say, hey, remember when I volunteered for you? I'm looking for a job now. They're more likely to give you a job because they know you worked for them before as a volunteer and you never got paid.
There were many workable ideas and recommendations.
We saw it like this. There's youth, potential employees, and there's employers, and there's a bridge in between. And so what do we need to be able to cross that bridge?
Resources, we talked a little about resources. Everybody sitting at the table did not know some of the resources that the other providers had.
Making sure that youth, when they're coming, that have better communication skills, public speaking, that they're aware of what they're coming to as far as a job, learning about the company.
And we also wanted them to do community service, work experience education, and employment readiness training as a requirement.
Somebody said, how about a mock interview? Not with somebody you know, with somebody you don't know and that are going to ask those tough questions.
We thought more internship opportunities, which also was brought up by everybody. And we felt there was a need to bridge the gap between employers and students, which is kind of exactly what we're saying in the front.
And start really preparing our students for life and the real world and work, because eventually they're all going to be working anyway, and we should be able to help them there.
The collaborative agreed on the following recommendations. Number 1, collaborative member teams will conduct outreach awareness visits to high schools. Teams will also attend high school assemblies and career fairs to let youth in schools know about the services of collaborative members. Other suggestions include providing information to career tech teachers and creating a resource board in each school. Number 2, the group discussed creating a resource guide for workforce development services for youth in the South County. They felt that creating a collaborative information website with links to youth providers would be a good place to start. 3, another suggestion was to create a promotional brochure for the collaborative and/or to compile collaborative members' promotional materials into one packet to be given to schools and youth-serving organizations. Number 4, the group agreed to continue with quarterly events that could feature guest presenters and would be of interest to providers, employers, and to youth. We've already opened our hearts to the youth of South Bay. Now let's open our minds and explore new ways of tackling the problems of youth employment. Let's develop youth employment strategies that say yes to a better future.